students, once again welcome back to Bosco Campus Vision YouTube channel of Kottayam Don Bosco College. I am Ranier, faculty member of PG Department of English. This time I am here with the paper 20th Century Malayalam Literature and English Translation, which is a core paper for Semester 3 BA English students under Kerala University. This is the 6th lecture of the series. In this lecture, we are concluding the poem Sahyante Magan. Since the poem is a long narrative poem, we divided it into 4 different parts, and this is the 4th part of the poem, and in this part also we are concluding the poem. Okay, so without wasting time, let's begin our class.
As I mentioned in the last class, the poem Sahyante Magan was originally written in Malayalam language by Vailopalli Sridhara Menon. Here we are discussing the translated version of the poem, The Son of Sahyan. It was taken from Vailopalli's collection titled Kannikoythu, and it was originally published in 1944. This poem depicts the wild ruminations of an elephant. While at a festival ground, this elephant remembers his happy childhood days in the forest of Sahyan. So that is the relevance of the title Son of Sahyan. Here the tusker is considered as the son of the mountain Sahyan. So his mind wanders off into the forest, free from the shackles of culture. So at some point of the poem, he loses touch with the world of reality and became a victim of his own fantasy. So let's continue the poem. Next stanza. When darkness dissolves, did the tiny eyes of the mad elephant imagine a lovely world of his wistful creation? Of a new festive scene with cute little elephants still fond of playful mischief in spite of the naughty tusks on their faces. With a thirst that cannot be quenched by the waters of the stream, a thirst for lovers' potent elixir with the females emitting lusty scent. So as darkness lifted, did the tiny eyes of the elephant see again his powerful vision? So here the poet Vailopalli Sridhara Menon is asking, this tusker again went back to his old memories. And as darkness lifted, did the tiny eyes of the elephant see again his powerful vision? And despite of the adventure sprout in their cheek, beautiful little elephants remained playful in the forest. So when he was jostled around in the forest, he remembers his happy childhood days. At that time, the beautiful tiny elephants remained playful in that forest. And he is again remembering the thing, this even though the lady elephant drank the river water from the river, they smelt for love water, and for that tusker, that was the great festival ground. So for him, the festival that is happening in the temple courtyard is nothing. But actually, what was the festival? So the festival, even though the lady elephants drank water from the river, they smelled for love water. So for that tusker, that was the great festival ground. Okay, let's continue the poem. Next stanza. In their company, did he gulp the cool intoxication of wild toddy and tear the reeds of jungle sweet as sugarcane? In the ears of his mate, tender like a forest leaf, did he whisper his heart's desire? With his nimble tusk, did he tie a chain of love around his beloved's leg, which have never known the agony of shackles? So, here the poet asks, did he drink toddy's cold and clear liquid and strip sugarcane sweet wild grass? And here the poet asks, in their company did he gulp the cool intoxication of wild toddy and tear the reeds of jungle sweet as sugarcane? So when he spent his younger days in that forest, at that time did he gulp the cool intoxication of wild toddy? Or in the ears of his mate, tender like a forest leaf, did he whisper his heart's desire? So this, did he whisper his desire in his mate's ears, as lovely as the leaves of forest, his heart's desire? So did he tell his secrecy of love to his mate's ear? So that is the question here Vailopalli is asking. And with his nimble tusk, did he tie a chain of love around his beloved's legs, which have never known the agony of shackles. So again, he is asking, did he bind love chain on his mate's neck? Was not known about fetters with his moving trunk. So at that time, did he tie a chain of love around his beloved's legs? So that is the question posed by raised by Vailopalli Sridhara Menon. Let's continue the poem. Next answer. Who knows? Perhaps the fruit-bearing plantains that collapsed hither and thither on the stage set for rituals, can the real truth tell? Surging ahead with the group, did he combat another tusker who challenged him with a heart aflame with desire and rage? As the jungle shook in fright, the hearts of his mates swelled with pride, and the baby elephants watched tremulous with panic. So, even though we don't know the truth, perhaps the banana tree may know that. So, the poet says that perhaps the banana tree may know that, even though we don't know the real truth. And when he was moving with the herd, did he fight with a tusker carrying the wildfire of sex and anger at heart? So, again, he is asking, Vailopalli Sridhara Menon is asking, as the jungle shook in fright, the heart of his mate swelled with pride, and the baby elephants was tremulous with panic. So he saw his mates delighted his heart, and cows trembled when the forest shook. So in his younger days, he spent his life very beautifully at that forest. And when he was moving with the herd, with his mate, when he was moving, did he fight with a tusker carrying the wildfire of sex and anger at heart? So he saw his mates delighted by seeing this, delighted his hearts, and cows trembled with forest shook. So at that time, that tusker was a very mighty figure. And as the poem continues, did he confront the cudgels of Yemen and the hands of dark death as much as his valor permitted, nourished by the meal of slavery? Into the forehead of the enemy, frothing in mad pride, did his deadly laughter penetrate full length up to the hilt? Who knows? Perhaps the bits of granite that fell off the pillars, filling the rear side of the temple, would tell the truth. So, here Vailopalli is asking the question, who knows the real truth? So, did the valor of his bondage meals fight against that cudgels of Yama, or did his deadly laughter penetrate the forehead of the enemy? Or perhaps the broken stones that fell off the pillars may speak the truth. So here, Vailopalli is asking, who knows the real truth? The elephant was such a mighty figure. Okay, next stanza. In the next dawn, the cowardly men whose courage chilled off in the dark woke up with a renewed daring. A soldier, the vassal of dark death, climbed up the temple wall and perched on the top. The man's gun roared, the mad elephant collapsed, calling out to someone in all helplessness. So, here, through this line, Vailopalli Sridhara Menon is explaining the death of the mighty Tusker. So, what happened? In the next morning, the cowardly men whose courage chilled off in the dark woke up with a renewed courage. So, in the previous night, the men's courage were chilled off. On the very next morning, they woke up with a renewed courage. And what happened then? A soldier among them climbed on the temple wall as a retainer in the service of evil death. And what happened? His gun roared once, and the tusker collapsed helplessly, weeping and calling someone. So when the fire shot from the gun, this tusker collapsed, and that was the end of the tusker. So that was actually happened in the temple courtyard in the very next morning. That was the end of the tusker. And towards the end of the point, the concluding two stanzas is explaining. Vailopalli is asking a question, and the two stanzas like this. did the voice that shook heavens reach the ears of the god of humans as he reclined in a slumber within the beauteous shrine? And the very last stanza, still the voice echoed in the heart of Sahyan, unable to endure the pain of his son's tragic plight. So in these two stanzas, poet is asking, did the god of men slumbering in the temple hear the sky shaking call? Or but definitely it reached and echoed in the heart of Sahya ranges the grief of that son. So when we read the poem, original poem, it is written as in Malayalam, ദ്യോവിനെ വിറപ്പിക്കുമാ വിളികേട്ടോ മണികോവിലിൽ മയങ്ങുന്ന മാനവരുടെ ദൈവം എങ്കിലും അത് ചെന്നു മാറ്റൊലികൊണ്ടു പുത്രസങ്കടം സഹിയാത്ത സഹ്യന്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ. സോ ഭൂമിയെ പോലും വിറപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആ ശബ്ദം, ഈ ടസ്കറിനെ കൊന്നപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ പ്രാണൻ നഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്ന സമയത്തുണ്ടാകുന്ന ആ വേദന, ഭൂമിയെ പോലും വിറപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആ വിളി, ഈ അമ്പലത്തിനുള്ളിൽ മയങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന മനുഷ്യരുടെ ദൈവം ആ വിളി കേട്ടോ. പക്ഷേ അദ്ദേഹം അത് കേട്ടാലും ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും ആ ശബ്ദം ചെന്ന് മാറ്റൊലി കൊണ്ടു എവിടെ? പുത്രസങ്കടം സഹിയാത്ത സഹ്യൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ. ബിക്കോസ് ദ ടസ്കർ ഇസ് സൺ ഓഫ് സഹ്യൻ. സോ പുത്രസങ്കടം സഹിയാത്ത സഹ്യൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ആ ശബ്ദം ചെന്നു തീർച്ചയായും അലയടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ എൻഡ് ഓഫ് ദ പോയം സൺ ഓഫ് സഹ്യൻ. Now let's go through some of the critical points of the poem. So the poem, The Son of Sahyan, depicts the wild ruminations of an elephant. Here the poem brings out the lack of ecological wisdom. So day by day the bond between man and nature that is deteriorating. Here the tusker, it is epitomized as uncivilized creature, uncivilized or marginalized, and it is often ill-treated by men. So suppression of natural instincts often leads to psychological perversions. So if a man is continuously affected by suppression, so continuously haunted by suppression, it will definitely leads to certain psychological perversions. So here also that is what happening. Often these temples and festivals are the vanity of modern men. And after the Industrial Revolution and mechanization, the bond between man and nature is disappearing. So the poem is a sad story of bondage and subjugation of a majestic wild creature that had roamed freely in wilderness. So this is the poem. Okay, my dear students, please do the homework and send me back through WhatsApp.